Hey, hey, Eddie G in the house. All right, guys, welcome to my channel. Supporters, non-supporters, haters, stalkers, abusers, users, and so on, so on. As we all know what happened. All right, guys, I have a little something I want to say today. I want to speak on, I've never been uh, a highly political person. I do have a few gaps in my own education, due to my childhood background. Hang on, guys. But you do not have to have a college education to see what is going on in your world and speak on it. Nor do you have to be a specific ethnicity or a specific color to have the freedom, to the right, to the freedom of speech. So this is what I want to speak on, guys. I did a video on what's coming, on supply and demand. So that's part of what I want to speak on today. Excuse me. All right, guys. So if you would, if you care to, go check out and of course this is a YouTube channel, Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson. They did a video on the meaning of the third eye. So if you guys would go and listen to that, he explains how the third eye basically had a lot to do with the evolving of humans and the he does speak on drugs, what people consider drugs, so on, and how drugs were, used throughout some of this. And, the Indians are proof of that as well. I want to say they used peyote. And it was actually a tradition of I believe it was the younger males to move away from the tribe, for their spiritual experience. They had to spend so many days alone on peyote. All right, so anyhow, guys, this is my point. If you will go and listen to Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson, what they're speaking of here on the meaning of the third eye, and I am going to get into some things political. I do feel as though I was led to this. We're seeing a lot of changes in the world, and I am steadily, consistently trying to get people to understand what is coming. Again, I'm not speaking on doomsday. I'm speaking on hell on earth. And so also, guys, I have spoke before on Candace Owens. If you guys will go and listen to her video, she did a public speech, and it was on, the title is Candace Owens Humiliates Nancy Pelosi. What she speaks on refers to following the herd. Exactly what I have been trying to tell you guys. Now, I love Candace Owens. This is very intelligent. I don't know if she considers herself African American or what, but this is a very, very intelligent lady. I love this lady. I love her insight. I love where she stands on her political views. So anyhow, guys, what I have been trying to express. As we all know, there's a lot of people that have tried to shut me up, sit me down. I speak on following the herd. I speak on what's coming by doing that and not being able to use your own mind, your own brain to make your own decisions. There have been a lot of people try to sit me down, shut me up, make sure my voice was never heard. Because for some time, I have been speaking on what happened to my son and his children. And again, this is following the herd. My son was literally, and I'm going to get into politically, how that all ties in as well. This woman was protected. This woman placed this child in a stage car accident for the money. She was protected by other African American social workers. And then the entire thing was protected by a white male, Caucasian male, who was simply worried about his image and his political position as head of CPS in South Carolina. All right, guys, so first off, let me refer to that story a little bit in case you have not listened to any of my videos. My son went to South Carolina to, be with the mother. as she had left the state with one of his children. Now, when she left the state, she left with only one child, the baby. She has 2 children with my son and 4 other. This woman was witnessed beating one of her children in the head with her fist. This woman was witnessed causing her one of her children a neck injury. And it is on video the day my son and I notified an ambulance to go because he did not have a way to get there due to his vehicles being sabotaged. This man went through literally excruciating hell because of the discrimination, the racism, and right down to the point of having to pull some of his own teeth. This man suffered, and he suffered behind racism, behind the family clanning together as an African-American family and literally torturing him. Now, am I saying my son is perfect? He's an angel? By no means. So, there was a lot that went on here. There was a lot covered up. A lot of people have tried to sit me down, shut me up. When I came into tarot readings, I was also attacked by a lot of African-American tarot readers and a few others, Caucasians, that jumped on the bandwagon. I can prove that. I have many examples of that. One of them, Bone Collector, which refers to hunting, and a sticker that was on the back of a little 4-wheel drive I used to own. So anyhow, guys, if you will go and listen to Candace Owens and what she is speaking on, she is expressing the horrific extent of what is to come, what the past and what is to come in the future, by people simply following the herd. She speaks on some of Martin Luther King's prior speeches in the past. As I have said before, guys, and I will keep preaching it, the past does matter. The past is the bridge to the present, which is the bridge to the future. And it is what is going to bring about change. Because we learn from the past. It is referred to as a lighthouse and not a port. All right, guys, so anyhow, as you can see, look at what's going on. I have referred to this before by people, if Kamala Harris gets in this White House, African Americans are doomed. A lot of people want to follow this woman simply because she has a certain percentage, 1%, 2%, whatever the percentage is, of African American bloodline, right? This woman is literally going to lead the African American society to a downfall. As I have stated before in a prior video I did, it is going to cause the regression of the African American society. So my point is this, guys. Free thinking. Free thinking. And when you are unable to free think for yourself, make decisions yourself, you follow the herd off the cliff. And this is exactly what happened in the case of my grandchildren. When I tried to put up a GoFundMe for my son, that GoFundMe was sabotaged. It was a lot of racism here. And I ask you, if you will listen to Candace Owens, you will understand what I have been preaching on. And thank you, Candace, for doing that video, supporting Trump. Like I say, this is a very intelligent woman. And she lays it down better than I ever could. So kudos to you, Candace, on that. That is an awesome video, and it does help explain things, hopefully, to where other folks in the world can understand it as well. So anyhow, guys, sometimes I know when I speak, it comes out like spaghetti because I have so much going through my head and what I want to say on what happened. Now, let's go back to my, past so-called daughter-in-law. A lot was done to hide this. She has been coached. She has been coached by African-American social workers who protected her. Now, when you place a child in a vehicle accident for the money, that is a crime. That is also child endangerment. But she was protected. She has been protected by a lot of these tarot readers. She has been protected by African-American social workers, at which point led right up to the CPS director, CEO, who was concerned, I'm sure, with his image. Because many times I contacted his office, as well as the governor's. So my point is this, guys. If you listen to Candace Owens' video, you will see what I'm saying. She speaks on a 9-year-old that was literally slaughtered by, now this was a African-American 9-year-old that was literally slaughtered by another African-American man. She speaks on what is going on in Detroit, Chicago, and several other places. And she also speaks on how this is leading the African American communities to their own demise and regression because of not using their own free thinking and following the herd. So, guys, in Central Park, the past, I'm going to say within 2 weeks, there have been migrant attacks. There have been attacks on U.S. citizens. And like I say, if we cannot love ourselves first, my heart does bleed for immigrants and their plight of what they are going through. They're only trying to stand up, find shelter, find sanctuary for their own families. So I get it. But on the same token, if we continue to travel this path of racism, it is going to lead, especially behind this woman, Miss Kamala Harris, it is going to lead to regression. Now, a lot of people probably sitting here listening to this, because I know I am followed and listened to by folks that, are sitting behind the scenes. So what I'm trying to tell you is a lot of people probably think by seeing this video, well, who are you to speak on it? You're Caucasian. You had white privilege. Well, let me assure you, I did not. I grew up in a shack beside the railroad tracks. We starved and we froze. We lived off of a pension from my father, who was in the military and who had passed on. So there was no white privilege. No one brought us dinners. No one gave us any privileges. So yes, I do speak on that. I do speak on racism. Matter of fact, let me tell you, once in junior high, I was walking down the hallway, and there were a couple of little young African-American guys in the hallway, which literally attacked me, completely unprovoked. And be to the fact that my vice principal at the school was also an African-American man. My family was never notified of this. He called me into the office. I'm guessing they saw it on camera, asked me if I was okay. And I assured him, yes, I was okay. Because it didn't, I wasn't hurt. I was simply pushed around, So anyhow, that's just childhood memory. But I'm trying to state a point here to you. A lot of people wanted to sit me down, shut me up. One, South Carolina does not want it exposed what was done and swept under the carpet. My own community does not want it exposed what was done and swept under the carpet to sit me down, shut me up. Now again, when I placed that GoFundMe app up, my community is 90% Christian. Not one of them donated to that. Not one of them. Even after they heard these babies' screams. Now, had those children been 100% Caucasian, I guarantee you they would have made a donation. So we had a little discrimination and racism here as well as folks in my community trying to hide crimes that were committed against me. We all know I was hacked, targeted, in an attempt to, like I said, sit me down, shut me up, stall me, stagnate me, and keep me back. This was done in the Tarrant community. This was done in my parish of Grant Parish, and Grant Parish, Louisiana. And this was also done in South Carolina to cover that mother's crimes. Now, what I say about that is this, and I have stated it before. South Carolina, if being under CPS surveillance gives a woman, a female, immunity from crimes, there are thousands of women in your judicial system that you need to release and pay penance to that are serving time for crimes. What you have done tries to make it look toward the fact that if a female commits a crime, because this was child endangerment, my grandchild could have been harmed. You have made it look as though if a female commits a crime, that she has immunity if she is under surveillance of CPS. And that is not so. That is not so at all. Like I said, there are thousands of women in your state that need to be released and paid a penance. There are a lot of people, like I said, that tried to sit me down, shut me up, stop my channel, make sure I was not heard due to this. All right, guys, so that is what I have to say on that. Yes, I do feel as though I was led to tarot reading, and there are a lot of folks in that community that wanted to sit me down, shut me up, and hide me due to the fact of siphoning, literally taking my story, my life, siphoning that, recycling it for their own benefit and their own gain and profit. I will continue to speak on that. Fact is fact, truth is truth. Also, guys, later on, I will be, my son was either poisoned or drugged. And we know that for a fact because of what happened to him after this mother handed him a cup of coffee. So I will be posting that video on when I tested it for drugs. And the one was negative and one was simply, what is the word I'm looking for here? It's not coming to my mind. It showed nothing. It showed nothing either way. So that leads me to believe that it was possibly poison. So I will still be trying to contact labs to have that coffee tested because I only took a certain amount of the specimen out and resealed and restored it. But either way, this man did suffer. This man suffered behind simple minds that cannot free think and follow the herd. I would like to think that CPS director was a little more intelligent than that. But as we see in America, a lot of people hide behind image, and we have seen that with the Biden-Harris administration. All right, guys. So let's see. There was something else I wanted to speak on real quick before I do this reading. It's not coming to me, guys. It'll come to me later. I will do another reading on it later. When we get to, and this is part of a problem in America, our country has become so sickening. Where predators roam the streets, where crimes, where things are being hidden. And like I said, if you listen to this Candace Owens video, you will see what I have been speaking on, how I have been expressing it to you, and how she expresses it. Much better, more intelligently, and to the point. You will see what I am saying, how covering crimes, how African Americans covering crimes for other African Americans are leading to the regression and has kept African Americans in a certain oppressed type criteria for many years. And you can hear that when she speaks on Martin Luther King's prior speech in the past. All right, so let's get in it. Let's see here. I need a new... I love these. This is considered holy wood. All right. Sometimes it's hard for me to find the words because my brain turns at such a consistent rate. I wake up and realize I woke up in the middle of thinking something. You know, I would have thought that wasn't possible that we think in our sleep. But numerous times I have woken up in like mid-thought. So, and that is why I refer you to what Joe Rogan said when he was speaking on the third eye, on the evolution of humanity. And how the third eye and certain things helped bring about the evolution of humanity. You know, we are no longer the caveman spinning the little rock wheel, so to speak. But there is a lot going on in our world. There's a lot being ignored, pushed back. I watched a African-American woman this morning give a speech on Kamala Harris. And I totally admire this woman for what she came out and she stated about how basically the African-American communities were being used, and what they weren't seeing by being free thinkers, this was actually leading to their regression. Matter of fact, the other day when I went and renewed my license, now, like I said, guys, I have a lot of gaps in my education. I've never truly gotten into politics. You know, I've had the same type of thinking others have had. They're going to put whoever they want in there. You know, so I think I've only voted once or twice in my life. So when I went down to the DMV, and I tell the lady, she asked me if I want to register. Of course, I want to register to vote because I do plan on voting this year, and I plan on voting for Trump. And she says to me, which party are you? I said, well, I'm not sure. I haven't really done a lot of research on it, but I do know I'm going to be voting for Donald Trump. So do you know what she put on my thing? Liberal. So I need to research that because I do not believe that a liberal stands for what I stand for and my viewpoint. And that is one of the reasons I watch as well a lot of the Hodge twins. and conservative. So I need to sit down and do a little research on the political parties myself. All right, guys. And, as far as that baby's mother, like I said, she is being coached on, if you get yourself right, you get your home right, that doesn't stop anything. That does not stop anything. It does not take away from the effect of this woman placing this child in danger. That was not done under a drug-induced rage. That was done simply out of greed and con. All right? So, but what Candace Owen speaks on is by the African-American communities, the African-Americans that oppressed, as well as obstruction of justice, how that causes regression. And when you hear her speak on what happened to this 9-year-old child, you'll understand what I'm saying. All right, guys. I know it's probably a little on the wild side to incorporate tarot readings as well as political, but, I know ever since that bloody cross showed up on my hand, as we went through 2019 and into 2020, I know I have asked God myself, why me? But I know there's a reason, and I think it has a lot to do with how I see things baseline. It has a lot to do with how I grew up my own self and what I stand for. All right. Lord, I ask that you bring down your divine white light. Let it flow through me as I speak truth, nothing but truth as I lay the cards on this table. Truth to my knowledge. It is disgusting, I find, guys, when y'all keep covering up for people's crimes and letting them get by with it, it is causing oppression and regression in your own communities and your own evolution of the African-American society. All right, moving on. Ace of Earth. As we know, that's the Ace of Pentacles. That stands for blessing from the divine. It also stands for new beginnings. Magician. And I cannot get my son to understand this is bigger than he or I. This is bigger. This has to do with corruption in politics. This has to do with corruption in offices higher up that hold our livelihoods literally in the palm of their hands. And, like I said before, it's about boundaries and learning to love ourselves first. When there's so much corruption within our own country that is, that like covering this up, how this man was literally tortured due to racism. It's horrific watching my own son be depressed, his heart and soul bleeding. My son was the mother. My son was the daddy. I sat back and I watched all of this happen. And due to racism and discrimination, anytime a social worker tells you, sir, you should have kept your business in your house, that's racism. Especially when it was an African-American female that said this to this man. That within itself is grounds for a lawsuit. Now, we all know, had this happened within the African, and yes, I'm going to say this, had this happened within the African-American race, and this been a African-American female or male that a Caucasian family did this to, they would already be on the courthouse steps. And I stand by that. You know that as well as I know that. All right, so then we had Six of Air, moving on to calmer waters, and Page of Fire, which is Aries, Leo, Sag, which is action, represents action. As I have said before, I will not stand down, shut up, sit down, and let this go. This child was placed in endangerment. And let me tell you the sickest thing about it. This mother tried to convince this child this never happened. Even told this child, oh, we're going to seek help for you, baby. This was all an attempt. You are playing with my grandchild's freaking mind. And that highly pisses me off. You had the audacity to tell this baby, we're going to get you help. The same thing this mother has always done. It's the children's fault. She has never taken accountability anywhere. These social workers hid a a positive drug test for this woman. There was a lot hid. There was a lot swept under the carpet. I have tried to bring attention to this, and I have had so many people come at me and target me, and they were wrong. They were wrong for what they did. When we look around in communities in our country, mothers are taking their children out. That is a mental illness. It has got to be some type of mental illness. If you would go and simply just research just that, how many children, the innocent, the ones that look up to us to protect them. All right, guys, so we have, it is a subject that highly peeves me because the way because these children are mixed, the way the family treats them. And if you're not going to love them, if you're not going to treat them proper, then let go. Nobody wants your child support. Let go. Let them go where they can be loved and treated well and get an education instead of tormented, told they're ugly, told they're fat, belittled. This is how you love your children? So yes, guys, it is a situation that highly pisses me off on several levels. One level being that African-American females have stood up for this. That CPS worker, what you are teaching my grandchildren is that it is okay to be abused, and it is not okay to be abused. You are teaching them to fear speaking up on abuse, all because you wanted to protect a woman with the same skin color. Now, to me, that is the most idiotic thing. That is the most idiotic thing. I'm here to tell you now. If I seen a Caucasian woman put a toddler in a staged accident, baby, you think I wouldn't call the law? I would be on her ass like white on rice because of what she did. It wouldn't matter to me if you're Caucasian, African American, Asian. It wouldn't matter. That was child endangerment. And what people fail to realize is what happens when that mother finally has enough one day. I can tell you what comes. Exactly what we're seeing going on around the world. Mothers taking their children out. Children being harmed by stepfathers, stepmothers. It's BS. And until we are free thinkers and we stand up for what is right and wrong, instead of simply coveting because, that's a white person, let me not call the cops on them. Or that's a African-American, that's one of my tribe, let me not notify law officials. It causes stagnation and regression. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that's not the kind of BS I would want in my community. We all want to be able to live free, eat good, make a good income, and I do plan on doing a reading later, guys, on our own government oppressing us. And an example of that would be, now if you owe taxes, you can't even get a fishing license. So you're smothering us with taxes, and we have no outlet to go relax. Back in the day, a man used to get his fishing pole, go to the lake, go to the river, wherever, do a little relaxing, maybe have him a beer, and sit and think about, okay, how am I gonna plan this out to where I can pay my taxes, still provide for my family? But now a man can't even do that. So yeah, we do need to stand up and speak on how we are literally oppressed in our own world. And we need to do that as a whole, not as consistently targeting and coming at each other. That's not going to get us anywhere. It's going to keep spinning the freaking wheel backwards. All right, guys, moving on. So we have that Ace of Earth, which is the blessing, the Ace of Pentacles, the new beginning. And as you can see, this card has a deer on it. I've done quite a bit of deer hunting myself in my lifetime. And which is what folks who spoke on that bone collector sticker, due to the fact they didn't do any research and they tried to twist that as though someone was a different kind of bone collector. It's idiocy. It's ignorance. It's not free thinking and doing your own research. All right, moving on. The Ace of Earth, the Magician. We know the Magician stands for someone that can manifest and bring things into their own life. Be it, and I'm going to go baseline because, guys, I pretty much live baseline. I see everything baseline. Manifesting represents, if you want a hamburger, you're gonna manifest it. You're gonna get in your vehicle, you're gonna go to Burger King or McDonald's. That's what the magician stands for. Someone bringing all of their knowledge together, be it spiritual, everything, and manifesting something. I know there's a lot going on where people, like I said, in my community, in other communities, let's hide it, let's sweep it under the carpet. When I speak of, I speak on the Bible states not to take the Lord's name in vain. And a lot of people think that is cursing. That is not what that means. When you portray yourself to be a Christian and you're behind the scenes as a cult targeting someone, you are a cult. You are a coven. You may as well forget about Christianity because you are fake. Anytime you are targeting someone, especially someone that was screaming out for help, and you decide to target them because you do not agree with how they're living their life, you are no different. You are no different than some of these other cults, covens, that slaughter people. All right, moving on. Then we had the Six of Air, which represents moving on to calmer waters, and the Page of Fire. The page represents coming forward, normally with some type of offer. Being the fact that this is the Page of Fire, this is Aries, Leo, Sag energy, but it represents taking action, moving forward with an action. All right, moving on. And I would also like to make a statement to our president, which we all majority of the world looks at as being Mr. Trump. Sir, I say this to you. Not every version of woke goes to shit. Some of woke has nothing to do with the LBGQT. It has nothing to do with racism. It has nothing to do with walking the streets dressed like a freak. No offense to anyone, but there are certain versions of woke. When you wake up and realize the group you were standing in, and I'm sure, sir, you can understand what I'm speaking on due to the fact of how they tried to annihilate you and criminally charge you. There are other versions of woke. My version of woke is simply waking up to a society around me that my life has evolved through that was nothing but criminals, crooks, drug addicts, thieves, and con artists. And how they hide behind an image for their own gain. The same way Kamala Harris is hiding behind an image for her own gain. Because apparently this woman's IQ is below 67. All right, moving on. Let's see, we had the Nine of Water. So we have the Blessing, the Ace of Pentacles, the Wish Fulfillment. Next we had the Magician. So someone is apparently trying to manifest their wish fulfillment. We have the Ten of Fire. Ten of Fire stands for Ten of Wands, burdens. We have someone who has tried to burden this magician in every way they could. And a lot of times what burdens represent in tarot with the Ten of Wands is oppressed, burdened, not being able to see past the obstacles. There are a lot of people that tried to place a lot of obstacles in someone's way. Next, we had the Seven of Water, options. So this person is moving forward, viewing all of their options. Here we have Hermit. So someone may be sitting back in hermit mode, reviewing, considering the options that they have for their forward movement. So then we had that Page of Fire, coming forward with action. And then we have the Ten of Air. Yeah, see, so not only were there a lot of people that tried to oppress someone, make sure someone wasn't seen, sat down, shut up, not acknowledged, burdened, so they couldn't see past the obstacles, burdened, oppressed. So that Hermit is moving forward, reviewing their options while they have sat, done some soul searching, probably researched some other things in hermit mode. Then we had that page of fire coming forward with action. As you can see, down what falls on that is the Ten of Air, Ten of Swords. So there were a lot of people that literally put daggers in this person's back to prevent them from forward movement. Page of fire, forward movement. And I am sure there are a lot of people in our world that spoke on truth. Be it, trying to speak on truth of what happened in the judicial system to hold them back. Be it truth of what happened with the CPS system to hold them back. We all have certain truths on certain things we have tried to move forward with, and this falls right to the president himself. What he is trying to manifest, the burdens people have put on him, moving forward to calmer water, reviewing the options, coming forward action, speaking on things that were done, speaking on how people are placing daggers and obstacles in their way to prevent forward movement. Hang on, guys. And one of the reasons I preach on this so much, and this is why, due to something that happened 6 years ago, I come to realize, one of the lessons I realized was, personally, I had actually realized this sooner. For me, that was about 30 years ago. And I have preached on this. When you let other people's opinions lead your life without doing the research, without using your own intuition, your own free thinking. I'm going to give you an example. Boyfriend, girlfriend, vehicle, whatever. Instead of using your own intuition, when you go and you ask everyone else, hey, what do you think? 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 Now, that does fall back to some people need the validation of others and some people do not. But my point is this. When you do that, and instead of making your own choice from your own stance of free thinking, you're going to end up with a vehicle you do not like. You're going to end up with a partner you find out you do not like. You're going to end up in a house you find out you do not like because you listened to too many people's opinion when you made your real estate purchase. So, yes, it's perfectly fine to consider other people's opinions. But at what point do you stand up and make your choices from a stance of free thinking and your own well-being? All right, moving on. So we had the Ace of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups representing wish fulfillment, Messenger of Water. So this is someone that not only has a blessing coming, that is their wish fulfillment, they are speaking with emotion from the heart, bringing a message. Then we had the Messenger, the Magician, the Ten of Fire. And as you can see, you see here, it looks like someone burning evidence. But what is notable is fire. And this also stands for the Ten of Wands, the burdens. There are people literally ruining themselves, burning themselves down, communities burning themselves down, etc., trying to burden other people to hold them back. This could be political. We have some folks out there right now making true blue arses of themselves by trying to hold others back politically. All right, moving on. So we have someone that has a blessing coming that is wish fulfillment, someone that is speaking with emotion from the heart. They could be also someone that knows how to listen to nature. You see the little seahorse here? How she is paying attention to nature. All right, so with that Magician and the Ten of Fire, the being burdened, and, like I said, this does look as though someone is trying to burn something, some evidence, some papers. There's a lot being hidden, be it political, be it simply what happened in my son's case, or in my own case. And what literally disgusts me about that is If the mother had nothing to hide, why would you target me? Why would you stalk me? Why would you steal my identity? Why would you steal my Facebook? Why would you sabotage my son's GoFundMe? Your actions speak on corruption. Your actions speak that you had something to hide. Now, I know, my son knows, this woman admitted she did this. But no one wanted to stand up for what was right. She was protected because of her skin color. And that's what I mean when I speak on free thinking, regression, and oppression. But, like I said, if you go check out that Candace Owens speech, and the title was Candace Owens Humiliates Nancy Pelosi, you will see exactly what I'm saying. She lays it out in terms I never could. All right, guys, so then we had the 10 of water. This had something to do with family. There was a lot of corruption went on here. There was a lot of lies, abuse, corruption, con artists, things that were hid. And I'm speaking on from pastors, attorneys, law officials, judicial, politicians on down. And it's all about image and money. And it has turned our world into such a sick, it's like we're evolving through a sickness instead of what Trump is fighting for to make America great again. To me, that's a weasel, that's a spineless yellow belly. Anyone who has put themselves in that position. A lot of people has had a lot of time to correct what happened here, but they chose not to. They chose to keep targeting, keep burdening, and keep trying to stop someone who was fighting for what was right, who was fighting for children. Now again, am I no angel? By no means. Am I perfect? Are you? By no means. All right, moving on. We had the Hermit. We had the forward movement and the options. So someone may be considering other options. 6 of Fire. 6 of Fire. As we know, that is the 6 of Wands, and that stands for victory. So someone is either going to receive a victory by considering other options, taking different routes. Then we had that Page of Wands, which represents taking action. We had the 10 of Air, which represents the 10 of Swords, where someone put so many blades in someone's back. Then we had the Queen of Air. This represents Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. As we know, there's particularly no gender in tarot, so this could be male, female. This could be male in a female energy. This could be female in a male energy. But it represents, you see someone, you see the owl, someone who thought they had more wisdom. Wisdom, thought they knew maybe a little something about you, but they tried to stop that forward movement. Again, corruption, lies, con artist. All right, guys. Be it in the political world, or as I like to call, the septic swamp of piranhas that feed off of each other. And, what sickened me about the tarot readers, when I first came out here, there were a lot of tarot readers that I admired until I saw what was happening, until I saw how I was being targeted, oppressed, how my life and my information was being used, twisted, how it was used to try to mentally torment me, how it was used to exploit me, how my life, my story, was exploited and used for other people's gain. All right, so let's get on in it here. What else do you have for us? We have the King of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy, but this is energy only, guys. This does not have to be a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. So we have a King of Cups that is possibly going to be receiving a blessing, which is wish fulfillment. And it has to do with speaking out from the heart, from the soul. Or it could have been a King of Cups that tried to help oppress someone from speaking out. All right, we have the Magician, the burden, the Ten of Cups. Someone is either burning evidence that has to do with someone's family, or family was involved with oppressing someone. This could be extended family. And then we had the Five of Cups. So we have someone in regret for what was done. The Five of Cups normally speaks on grief and regret. But someone feels as though they probably shouldn't have got involved. They are possibly regretting the actions they took and are trying to hide evidence. All right, so on the Six of Air, moving forward, reviewing their options in hermit mode, bringing about a victory, we have the High Priestess. That High Priestess speaks of kind of like the Hierophant in a way. It does speak on divine knowledge. It does speak on wisdom. It does speak on the divine. So we have a High Priestess that is going to have a victory, that is moving forward to calmer water, reviewing their options. So we have over here in reverse Ace of Coins. So whoever did this, they are going to get their karma. Because as you can see, and I have preached it, guys, universal balance is karma. Karma is universal balance, handed down from the divine to be delivered by the universe. We start the reading with the Ace of Earth, which is the blessing. We have a lot of water here in this energy. And then over here where someone tried to come forward, the Page of Wands, and someone put the 10 of Daggers in their back. Again, they didn't want this person seen, heard, and this has to do with corruption. Con artists, thieves, drug addicts. And let me rest assured, when I speak, guys, on drugs, I'm not speaking about marijuana in any way. Because I am a firm believer that the good Lord himself it's a plant that grew here on earth. It's not something that was generated by human mankind. Marijuana, if you research it, is a wonderful thing for the medical field. It's also, it slows the mutation of cancer cells. It is a good thing for people that have anxiety. There are many benefits to medical marijuana. So then we have, when I speak on drugs, I'm talking about the crap that's killing people. I'm talking about LSD, crack, cocaine, meth. I'm talking about the things, look at San Francisco. You've got zombies laid out in the streets. That's what I'm speaking on. I'm speaking on crimes that are committed because somebody wants to go and get that drug. And I'm also a firm believer, if you truly want to walk away from it, you can. All right, so then we had the Ace of Coins in reverse. So whoever this Queen of Air is, or was in this Queen of Air energy that was throwing all of these daggers at this Page of Wands, the person that was moving forward, that was in hermit mode, their blessing is going to be in reverse. So basically, for what someone did, like I said, we started it with the Ace of Coins, we're ending it with the Ace of Coins. For what someone did, their blessings, this person's going to receive. All right, moving on. And we had the Tower on the bottom. Six of Wands in reverse. So we have, yeah, there was a lot. There was a lot. The Messenger of Water, there was a lot that was spoken that was trying to keep someone from having a victory. And this was to keep a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio from having a victory, from receiving that blessing, that wish fulfillment. So this has to do with someone's family. There was a lot done to literally annihilate someone. On the bottom, we have judgment. So yes, whatever you did behind the scenes, if you think judgment is not going to come about, the only person you are fooling is yourself. What's done in the dark will come to light. It's already came to light. Everyone knows what happened. But no one had the huevos, the backbone to stand up for what was right. And majority of it was ill-gotten gains and image. All right, moving on. Tell us about this Five of Cups, this grief, this regret. Ten of Wands. Someone regrets burdening someone. Someone regrets oppressing someone, trying to stop someone and hold someone back. They may have realized they may be going to jail. All right, tell us about the High Priestess that gets the victory. Eight of Cups. This person has emotionally walked away from something. And that's going to bring about victory. All right, we had the King of Swords on the bottom. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. Six of Coins. We know this. You can see here, something went down. You see here, look. Someone paid somebody possibly. You see this person sharing. You see all the hands out. And this person flipping those coins. So someone is no longer letting themselves be affected by something that happened. And this also represents networking, rubbing elbows, passing bribes, passing money, wanting someone not heard, sat down, shut up, not seen. This is what that High Priestess gets a victory over as they move on to calmer waters. All right, tell us about the Queen of Air. Queen of Air, double confirmation. The Queen of Swords loses her blessings because of what she did to a Page of Wands to sit them down, shut them up, not be heard, not be seen, thinking she came forward with wisdom, be it thinking she knew something about someone. Booyah, baby. Justice on the bottom. Justice will come. Justice will come. Give us another one on that Queen of Swords. Blessings being in reverse. Queen of Coins in reverse. This woman's going to lose money. Whoever this was that tried to do this, tried to stop this person, stop this, possibly, I know in my case, a lot of folks wanted to stop my channel. They wanted me sat down, shut up, and not heard. So this could have been law official because we have Queen of Swords, Ten of Swords. That is a lot of con, a lot of mental mind games, a lot of corruption. And someone did this. Someone came forward possibly. Like I said, we have that white owl right there with information possibly to stop someone's abundance. And then we have her again here, double confirmation. And then we have her in reverse. She could have done this to stop not wanting to lose any of her own ill-gotten gain. And it was done to leave someone out in the cold. Five of Coins. This could have been a CPS official. This could have been judicial. This could have been political. But this was definitely someone that did not want someone seen. They did not want someone to have that new beginning, that blessing. They didn't want someone's income to increase. They didn't want someone to be acknowledged. And for what they did, as you can see, they're losing their money. Their blessing is going to be handed to someone else. We have Nine of Coins came out in reverse. This could have possibly been a single female that was seen as abundant. This could now be a single female. This could be someone had to get divorced that was seen as abundant. But this person is going to lose, if they've not already lost it, for what they did in secret. We have the moon here. For what the wolf they chose to feed, and it wasn't the good one. For what they did in secret to stop someone else's forward movement and blessings. All right, guys. So let's see. I wish I could find what I did. I had some other little angel cards that I loved, but I'm not sure what I did with them. Eventually, I'll find them. So let's see. Why did this person want to do this? Butterfly. This Queen of Swords did not want someone to evolve. Healthy choices. They wanted to affect someone's mental health. Making healthy choices in love and in life. Self-love, self-care, and being happier. Yeah, so see, they didn't want someone to evolve. They didn't want someone... They tried to play with someone's health, be it mental health. They could have spoke about someone's health. They did not want this person to have any self-love, any self-care, or any happiness. Give us one more. I like you. Someone likes you, romance blooming, fun, flirting, and wanting to date. So, it could have had something to do with how someone else saw, or how they wanted. They did not want someone else to be seen in a good light. This is a demonic energy. Because when you come at someone like this and you have no purpose, no cause, or no reason, especially when they've committed no crime, and I'm not talking about simply trying to survive in life. I'm talking about putting a child in a staged accident, committing robbery. So this person over here did nothing to this Queen of Swords that tried to sit them down, shut them up, oppress them, possibly have charges pressed against them, and make sure they were never heard. There was a lot of corruption that went on here. Photograph. Could have possibly altered some photographs. Could have possibly came about some photographs. Looking at your photo. It does say other things, but that does not relate. Missing you, nostalgia, all that, but that doesn't relate. So someone did something to oppress someone, sit on someone, that, make damn sure someone was not heard. And they tried to affect someone's health. They tried to affect someone's money, evolution, new beginning. This was straight corruption in, be it judicial, be it CPS, be it the community. This when you gang people up together to do this to someone that hasn't done a damn thing to you, be it a Christian cult, political cult, that's demonic. All right, guys, so that's what I have. Let's go ahead and get one of these angel cards. And like I said, I will be back later to do some more readings. I have days where I just want to wash my hands of the entire thing. But I know that what happened to me with that cross showing up on my hand, the way I was led to this, I know I'm supposed to be here. I know there are messages I am meant to give. And I will not sit down, shut up, and not give those messages. All right, moving on. A lot of corrupt individuals, Tarot land, community, political, judicial, CPS, did not want the truth getting out. If you did it, you know you did it. You covered up corruption. I know in South Carolina, they covered up corruption. They protected a woman that is a criminal. Fraud. Credit card fraud. Theft. Child endangerment. You covered up for this woman. While you also tried to help sit down someone else, shut them up, and make sure they were not seen so your corruption was not exposed. All right, we have reconciliation. Let me be fully reconciled with what I have left behind. Amen. We have peace. I open my heart and rest in the peace of divine love. The essence of love. Let love be the center of my life. And I cannot scream it louder. Children. I honor the precious child within. I nourish and cherish all new beginnings. So someone did not want a new beginning. I know when it comes to this mother, she has done all she can at certain intervals to keep this father from even speaking to his children. And you guys need to stop that shit. You know, I have sat back and watched in the world where women use their children as pawns. If a man doesn't want you, or if a female doesn't want you, okay, be butthurt, but get the hell over it. Because once you have children, it doesn't have a damn thing to do with you. It's about the children. And by trying to annihilate, sit down, shut up, and keep the other half of this child's family from knowing them, being able to communicate with them, that speaks corruption. You are doing that for several reasons. One, butthurtness. Two, corruption. When you try to keep a parent out of a child's life, and I went through this myself, the majority of it is because you do not want that other parent to know what is going on in the household. Because you know your ass could be cooked. All right, guys. That's what I have. I do leave my messages sometimes a little emotional, and that's because my heart bleeds for what my grandchildren have gone through. My heart bleeds for how this corrupt mother and these corrupt officials hid what happened. It is sickening. Sickening. This family targeted me, stalked me, helped sabotage jobs, and you still protected them. At no point you had a lot of time to correct this. At no point did you do that. Instead, you kept trying to lead, guide, while you burdened someone else, tried to sit them down, shut them up, and make sure they were not seen so the truth would not be heard. That is corruption at its finest. You deserve to be fired from your jobs, have your immunity taken, and you deserve to have the hell suit out of you for what you did. Because it was corrupt, it was unethical, and it was sickening. All right, guys, so that's what I have. And if someone has done this to you, like I say, we are seeing this. Our world right now is evolving through a lot of corruption. And, just keep your head up, or as I like to say, keep your head down, backbone engaged, keep working, keep moving forward, and know this. What was... Somebody doesn't want to get out. What was done in the dark will come light. None of us are perfect, but when you go to the extent, and like I say, when you listen to that Candace Owens speech, you'll see what I'm saying about how protecting each other when people are committing horrific crimes causes regression and oppression. You will understand what I'm saying. All right, and most of it is done out of ego, pride, and image. Instead of doing the correct thing, a lot of people want to stand in ego and pride. And that only brings about more corruption. All right. So like I said, guys, I will be posting that video where I did drug test that coffee cup. It was just a couple cheap tests I bought off of Amazon. One was, it just didn't show anything, which would be a negative. And one was, it showed nothing. It did nothing. Not a negative or a positive. So I'm still going to contact the lab. As many labs as I have to, and have that sent somewhere to hopefully be tested for poison. Because, sitting back the years my son was in Carolina, I know a lot was done to him. And this was done out of racism. This was horrific. This was done out of racism and corruption to hide what was done by the CPS system and what was done by the mother. And someone needs to expose that shit because it was corruption at its finest. In no world, in no way was this okay. This man was tortured out of the love of his children. If you like the message, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. I know I have 51 followers, which maybe one or two hit the like button every now and then. So that tells me I have a lot of folks following that have no good intentions for me, and that's okay. That's just fine. Haters can help you be seen just as well as lovers. So, someone that does have good intentions for you. What I speak on, I do speak on truth. I do speak on what happened. Again, like I said, no, I'm not perfect. By no means do I pronounce that I am perfect. But what I know is this. I've never placed a child in this BS. All right, guys. Addie Jean, peace out, and I will be back with more readings. Peace.